Welcome everyone to Geeks of the Roundtable, episode 48. We're almost at the 50 episode mark. This is exciting, packed, packed show today. Of course, I'm not here alone. I'm here with my co-host Zachariah Papaya. How are you doing, Zach?
I woke up literally 15 minutes ago, and I'm ready to do this, man. I do it every single week, but it's so I'm good for this, man. I need to scream from the fucking heavens before we even talk about it. Pedro motherfucking Pascal. He is joining the Last of Us series, which we have talked about extensively. But like The Last of Us is my favorite video game. I know. I'm just excited, man.
I know.
I'm not literally. Last night I was trying to make a thumbnail for this to figure out. I'm gonna convince him to make it, but I just couldn't. I was like, it's too late. I'm just gonna keep WandaVision. But in my mind, this is the biggest news topic ever. I don't care what anyone says. And anytime there's a Last of Us casting now, it'll be the biggest thing for me.
It will have its eyes on it. Eric Thorpe is here. General Kenobi, thank you so much for being here. Now, our guest, ladies and gentlemen, this was very last minute, so we're very lucky to have him. I've been working with this gentleman for a few months. Now we start talking Mandalorian on another channel, and I'm very happy to have him on this channel right here. Andy King, how are you doing, my friends?
Hey, howdy. Hi, hello from Austin, Texas, y'all. How's it going?
We're good. Very happy to have you, Andy. Welcome to the show. How excited are you to talk about this very packed news day?
Dude, I legitimately, I don't know where to begin. I was watching WandaVision last night to make sure that I had soaked everything in. I was making sure that I got it. I was making sure there wasn't something I was missing because everything happened. I mean, and that's just for WandaVision. Then we get into I'm gonna slow down. I'm just thinking from the Marvel side of the house, man. Yes, I have thoughts about things to answer your question.
And we're excited to have you on and talk to you about all these things. But before we do, gentlemen, there's something we must address off the top. Now, Andy, for your information, Zach doesn't know I'm bringing this up. I always like to catch Zach and whoever our guest is, if we have one, by surprise, by just talking about something that literally just came out. I woke up to this news and one other piece of news that we'll talk about. Gentlemen, Gina Carano has been fired by Lucasfilm after her comments, let's call them that, over the last few months. And in the meanwhile, her agency dropped her as well. Zach, let's start with you. How are you feeling about this? What are your thoughts? Everyone in the comments, please keep it civil. Just talking about the situation.
Honestly, man, I'm surprised it took this long, you know? And I know there's a lot of people who will be like, well, freedom of speech. Well, when you compare yourself to the Holocaust, there's an issue.
It's not going to end well.
No, not at all. So, you know, and this is the way I view it. Like, if you want to, whoever or whatever you do, fine. Just don't say it. Don't say it. I don't care. I don't want to know. If you want to, fine. But you risk that. You know what I mean? But she was to another level of it. And that's what I'm like. She was literally antagonizing, about everything. And it's just, for me, it's like you continuously did it. And I think this was kind of the final thing. And it kind of just dropped. But from what I've heard, there's more behind the scenes than just the posting.
Yeah.
So I'll leave it there. I'm not trying to get negative on here, but there is apparently a lot more behind the scenes that she's done that has either not been good for the cast, and now this is where she's at. So it looks like they've been kind of looking for that next reason to kick her off. And I think it is true. Remember when Rangers of the New Republic got announced? It was very weird that they said nothing about it.
Yeah.
This is why now that is confirmed. Which I gotta say, do not, and I really mean this, please do not just get rid of the character. I think Cara Dune is a really cool character. And I think if you get an excellent actress in there or someone else, maybe they can elevate it more. But do not get rid of her as a character. I cannot stress that enough. I think you could bring in someone who deserves it more. I've been saying Michelle Rodriguez, I think, would kill it. I think she has been someone in Hollywood for such a very long time that is not, and I really mean this, I don't think she's gotten a gigantic leading role in a film. I don't count the Fast and Furious films. I don't think she has. I love Fast and Furious, but she's not the leading role in those. Let's give her that role. Let's give her that role. Let's see her take it on. Now, if they do recast, whatever, fine. For me, in the place that they left the Mandalorian, what are they gonna say? She just fell over and died after the troopers walked in.
Maybe she just has, I don't know, paperwork piling up. You know, she's
maybe. Oh, you know what? That is true. That is true. But yeah, I don't know. What about you guys? Like, how do you guys feel about this?
How about you, Andy? How are you feeling about this decision, and what do you think of her comments?
Boy, I'm going to be honest. This is going to sound really bad to say. I've played ostrich on this. I've kept my head in the ground about her comments. All I've heard is like kind of all I've heard, right, is like the generality of what she has. It's kind of like with the James Gunn controversy, right? Is like I didn't feel the need to go look at the comments, but you know, like when I did at the James Gunn comments, at least it seemed like there was a very poor attempt at crass humor from way back when. You know, but that was also your like archive. You're looking at someone's archive in a controversial situation like James Gunn, and it was like poorly timed, poorly framed. The problem with this is it's all current. It's all recent. You know what I mean? It's like these are all sadly who she's associated with being today. So it's not like there's like years of growth outside of these comments or these like that are actually going to say that she can actually speak to character wise. So yeah, I mean, I really hate to see her go. You know, like, I don't know, to Zach's point, to your point, I enjoy seeing her in the Cara Dune role. I don't want to see that character go away, but this isn't even one of those necessary evils, quote unquote. You know, this is just something that if a company is going to take a stand, they got to take a stand, you know, so this is necessary.
Which I think that's the thing is that a lot of people need to realize is, yes, Disney is a little bit reactionary, definitely with the James Gunn stuff. The James Gunn stuff was overnight. This is something that built for months and months and months on end. And, you know, it did go a little, yesterday was, I'm going to be honest. I saw it and I still thought they weren't going to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I still thought they're not going to do it. But, and I honestly, I wonder if Disney looked and said, we don't want to have another James Gunn situation on our hands.
Yeah.
So I think they started looking at everything, like the whole picture. And they're like, let's look at everything. Let's see everything. And then obviously this, because when the James Gunn thing happened, I don't remember it trending to fire him. I just remember one guy came the comments out and then that kind of other people started kind of jumping on that, but it wasn't as bad. And then the next morning he's fired.
Yeah.
So that's just how it looked for me.
Before I give my 2 cents, I think it's only fair to say that, like Andy, I really enjoy her in the role. She's not the greatest thespian, but the role didn't need her to be the greatest thespian. She fit the role very well. I think she did a really good job as an actress on that role. After these comments, which, as Andy said, are very present, they are happening right now. Given who she works with, Pedro Pascal, his sister just came out as transgender. He's celebrating it. Then you have this person who's basically for months now has been poking the bear to see if the bear strikes. The bear finally had enough, and she's out. Her agency has had enough. Lucasfilm has had enough. It only seems fair. We need balance in the Force, not to leave it in darkness.
So I want to ask you
guys, that's how I
do
feel
you guys
about
think
it.
they recast or no?
Recast.
I think they
do?
I think they recast. I'm saying let me just bring up a tweet that I put out because I want to see someone in the role who is not Michelle Rodriguez, but it's someone who isn't a household name. She was in the ABC show Once Upon a Time. She played the evil queen. Her name is Lana Parrilla.
She would be excellent. I agree.
She'd be excellent. I think so too. I think she's around the same age as Gina Carano, as Michelle Rodriguez. I think they're all around the same age.
But does just having no background with the character, right? Having no background with the character. I mean, not the character, but with the actress.
The actress.
How is she built? How is she build wise? You know what I mean? Like
she's not a Gina Carano, but
right.
Let's say if you cast Michelle Rodriguez, this would be exactly the same type of build you would get, because Michelle Rodriguez is very much in shape. She would kick my ass, but she's not in Gina Carano shape.
Yeah. But even then, like, and I had someone tweet at me yesterday, well, it'll distract me. Do you know how many people get recasted like all the time? And
it'll be distracting for 1 second.
Yeah, like for me, the one that I think at first distracted me was Batman Begins to Dark Knight. And it wasn't even like that big of a deal, but like, you watch, okay, I forget that they recast it, and then you go on.
I was just thankful that Katie Holmes was not in the movie anymore.
I barely noticed that. I'm gonna be honest, I barely noticed that recast. You know the recast that got me? The recast that got me, actually there's another recast that got me, and we're gonna talk about that I guess a little later in the show. But the recast that got me was Terrence Howard in the original Iron Man. Like
that's a good one. Yep.
It went from him to Don Cheadle, and nothing wrong with Don Cheadle. Great guy. My problem wasn't Don Cheadle at all or the recasting. It was just that Terrence Howard brought this military energy. You know what I mean? Like he felt like he was military stern, but then I guess that translated off screen to him being kind of a D-bag about negotiating or something.
Yeah.
He wanted to make more money than Robert Downey Jr., the star.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And it's like if you stayed, you would have probably gotten close to that level, but you were never going to make that much money because the contract involved there was also literally a blunder on like the financial department or whatever, because the movie was going to flop. I mean, all that to say, that guy shot himself.
Literally. Absolutely,
sure.
Man.
All right, we're not gonna knight or send this one to the dungeon. I feel it's much bigger than either of those things. So we're just going to go ahead to our first official topic, ladies and gentlemen. This is exciting. I also woke up to this news.
Screaming about it.
Let's just set this up properly. So late last night, for me, as an European, there came out the news from the Illuminati that Mahershala Ali, one of the best actors working today, period, had been offered the role of Joel for The Last of Us on HBO. And I was like, not what I expected, not what I imagined. Cool. I had many conversations with a few friends that were not enthusiastic, but not in that bad sense that comes to your head straight away. But in the meanwhile, the report was defied, let's say that, by the Hollywood Reporter, that Mahershala Ali had turned down the role, and we got someone that is effing perfect for this role. Ladies and gentlemen, the Mandalorian himself, the best father in the galaxy, Pedro Pascal, is playing Joel Miller in The Last of Us TV show. Now, I have a lot of things to say. I'm not sure what Andy's experience is with The Last of Us, so let's start with Zach, who I know is very much into this.
I literally let me see if I can find my girlfriend. So yesterday night we were I was texting her about something completely different. Okay, I'm gonna show you our text messages.
Oh boy.
Babe, oh my god, Joel got casted. Oh my fucking god. It's gonna be Pedro Pascal. Oh my god. I literally look. And I just kept saying, it's fucking Pedro Pascal. It's fucking, oh my god, it's fucking Joel. Oh, I'm The Last of Us. Oh my god, I'm so sorry for blowing up your phone. Oh my god, I can't believe it's Joel. Like I literally kept saying that. So when Bella got casted, I love that casting because Lady Mormont, little badass in Game of Thrones. She kills it, and I'm excited to see her get that next role. Because, when typical TV, looking at TV or even movies, sometimes they start out younger, especially these younger kids. They have like a good little role that sticks them out, and then they have that next thing that's huge every time. And I think this is going to be Bella's big thing. And I've already talked about like how The Last of Us I'm really excited about because the Chernobyl writer's still writing it. He's not directing it anymore, but that's fine. They have that Beanpole director, which if you haven't seen Beanpole, like they're going to get the atmosphere just like right. But so Bella, I loved. I love that casting. It's way outside the box. Great age range though. I think she's going to kill the role as Ellie. But really much the first season or however they do the Last of Us series, the most important part's going to be Joel. I mean, he is going to be the leading role for this. And, Ellie's pretty important too for the future and of course in this game too. And their chemistry is going to be like the thing I'm really looking forward to. But Pedro Pascal's Joel is something I never thought of, but it's perfect. Because personally, my pick was John Berthnall. I really wanted John Berthnall in this film.
Never mind.
I think, or in this show, I think
I remember bringing that up on one of the shows.
I think he would be awesome. Hugh Jackman, yes, obvious choice. Kingslayer himself as well would have been a great choice.
What the heck? Why is no one saying Oscar Isaac? Like, am I the only one who's like?
So Oscar Isaac's the other one I would have loved too.
Also, a friend of mine brought this one up that I had never thought about, but would actually be pretty cool as well. Gerard Butler,
another great choice. But I think it honestly came down to chemistry. I'm wondering how many people they had come in, and then like Ali. So I wonder. I'm going to be honest. I wonder if Joel was casted first. I really wonder if Joel was casted first, but the Bella news came out first.
Yeah.
And then they attached whoever, like they went with that from there.
I think I honestly think this one came out only because we got the Ali stuff. Otherwise, I don't think we would have gotten Joel. Zach, I think this news would have come out after the show today if the Ali news hadn't broke.
Probably. 100%. But Ali too, by the way, would have loved him as that role. Would have been very different. But honestly, Mahershala Ali, because for me, these are two completely different actors. And the way their style, how they come about. And if Ali would have taken on Joel, it would have been a completely different interpretation of Joel. But I'm open to it. Pedro, I think, is going to do more of the, his acting style. If I were to look at Pedro in a serious film, I'm like, and he grew a beard and stuff, I'd be like, oh, I guess that's kind of like Joel. You know what I mean? I guess
look at him in Triple Frontier.
That's what I was going to say. That's the closest thing we've ever seen it to. But Andy makes it. Oscar Isaac would have been great too.
And someone in the comments suggested Oscar Isaac for Tommy. Heezy Hey.
That's a great one. I was telling Ren before this though. I think Kingslayer himself, Jamie's going to be Tommy. I won't be shocked.
Interesting.
And I'm saying Ali could still be in the show as someone else. Could he be the villain, the cannibal dude, or could he be Sam? There's a mix of different people that you could put him in as, and no matter who gets tested or put into what, it's gonna be a great. So now I'm more excited. I think I want to say by the end of next month we know the entire cast.
The entire cast. Wow.
The entire cast. I think we'll know who Tessa. Right. I think we'll know who a majority of them are. And I'm going to say this. I guarantee they probably go into shooting by March. Or not by March, by summer.
Wow.
Because Mando starts in March. Season 3 does. So the way I'm viewing it is he's either not going to be on set for a majority of the season, and they'll film all of his stuff without his helmet later on.
Oh, yeah.
Or he's just going to do more voiceover work this season.
Literally.
Either way, honestly, the first season's exactly like that, and I can't tell. You know what I mean? So, I guess we'll see. Or maybe we're wrong. Maybe he films it after Mando.
Yeah, maybe. Could be.
So, maybe he does it. He also do it at the same time. I mean, The Rock does it.
True.
Yeah. So...
All right, Andy, what do you feel about this casting, and what's your experience with the Last of Us? If you have any.
My experience with The Last of Us is that I have bought the game. I bought the game for $5 digital on PlayStation 4. Played the first act of it. Started crying. It was super sad, and then I think I stopped playing it because I got really sad. I don't know. I was in a weird place. Either way, I need to.
Right in the first one.
Yeah, man. The opening.
Oh boy, I know. Zach, he's not going to survive the second one.
Dude, I don't know. Yeah, man. I bawled the entire time.
So yeah, it's one of those things where even like I said, I haven't completed either game, but even without that, I love what we're seeing. I love what we're seeing because I like that we're kind of finally entering an era where we're like this kind of time when we're getting good video game adaptations, right? Where people are taking it seriously. Because for so long you had stuff like The Prince of Persia with Jake Gyllenhaal.
How dare you? That is good.
Like,
I love that movie.
And it's like, and even that I'd say is like a B, C plus, like whatever you want to call it. And I just say that because like if you can cast actors like Jake Gyllenhaal, you've got the resources there to make these great movies, and people often don't take advantage. So doing a series, right, is the best way to go with this material, and I think that's awesome.
For sure. I'm very excited about this. I couldn't be more excited about this. I already downloaded the first game again on the PlayStation collection on the PS5, and I'm going to play it. In fact, I'm going to have my housemates play it for the first time, and I'm just going to be watching because I want them.
Andy, he just played it last year for the first time.
No.
No, he means the PS5.
I'm sorry. We've got to have some rules for this conversation, and one of them is that the PlayStation 5 is off the table.
Muted words. Yes.
Okay. So I shouldn't bring up mine either.
You have one. Where are you guys finding these things?
Hey, dude, I'm from Europe. I'm not in.
Yeah, he's from Europe. For me, honestly, dude, my friend works at GameStop, and he texted me earlier in the day. He goes, "They're probably gonna go up." He goes, "So just be ready to come." And I said, "Okay, will do." And I get a text from him. He says, "Hey, I'm in a conference call. It's honestly going to go up any minute now." And so I drove there, went in, and he goes, "It's not up yet." He goes, I guess they got it wrong. It'll probably go up like tomorrow morning. Just come tomorrow morning. I'll make sure to get you one." I said, "Okay, cool." Went home. I get a call. Literally, I pulled up in my driveway. "Hey, they're up." I don't think I've ever driven that illegally in my life to get back to the store, because I went there, pre-ordered it. As I left, 30 people walked in, and they were out of the pre-orders by then. But shout out to him though. He only let everyone pre-order one, and if you're a part of a family, one. So shout out to him, and he knows he has a list of names at his store. So he goes, anytime we've gotten restocks, I don't let them buy it if they have one.
Not all heroes wear capes, man. Wow.
Yeah.
Sure. I am very excited about this. I love the first game. I love the second game even more. It's an absolute masterpiece. It's the only game in the world ever to have made me cry. I was like a freaking faucet by the end of the second game. And thank you for letting us know that you haven't played it, Andy, because now we will careful about what we say.
And that's something that's exciting, man. Dude, please play it. Jump into it today. You will and I'm curious to hear your thoughts on the second game, because that's the one that's kind of split everyone right down the middle. It seems like.
Apparently, I'm gonna need to get a PlayStation 5 before I can even play the second game. Is that thing still blowing up?
No, it's PS4. It's for the PS4.
Yeah, but is it still did they optimize it yet? Because I thought there was that whole thing where it was making the PS4s run hot.
I don't think they have.
It ran fine on mine. I played it on the PS4. It ran fine on mine. Yeah, they didn't even optimize it for the PS5 yet. It's the only exclusive that didn't get optimized. So, today I already know what's gonna happen. They're gonna announce the remaster officially. Yeah. I already know it.
Did they announce the remaster for Ghost of Tsushima yet?
No, but that one actually got an update. It's pretty much a PS5 game now.
Yes.
So
I still gotta play that.
I gotta play Akira Kurosawa mode, man. That game is so
it's good.
Before I got a 4K TV, my roommate walked by it when I was just on my horse in the field. He's like, "Oh, this looks sick. What movie is this?"
That's awesome. Again, very excited for this. The show can't get here fast enough, really. And if it puts more people's eyes on the actual game, The Last of Us, the 2 games, that's amazing. I am very much knighting this, gentlemen. How about you, Zach?
This is the biggest night I've ever given anything. They could announce. I don't care. They could announce today that I could see the Eternals tomorrow, and I wouldn't. Yeah. I still wouldn't. I'd still give this the overhead, man. This is my most anticipated show for the next however long. Just as much as the Batman is my most anticipated film for the next 2 years. This is my most. Yeah. I mean, and to be honest, there's Mando season 3 that I'm really excited for, Ahsoka, but I kind of know how those are going to play out in some way, shape, or form.
Mhm.
It's this one that I'm super interested in, and it could suck.
Yeah,
but
that's true.
I just don't think. And plus, Gus is coming back to do the score too. So
Did you say American Psycho?
what was it?
Oh wait, no, you said American Horror Story. My bad.
Oh.
Sorry, I love that movie, American Psycho, and I like
American Psycho is great.
How about you, Andy? Are you uniting this or setting?
Well, heck, yeah. even without playing the game, this at least pushes the envelope on what people want to do for video game adaptations.
For sure.
So heck yeah, I'm liking that.
All right, let's go on to our second topic. And this is one that's confusing. Tom Holland was promoting Cherry, which I just saw last night. Can't say anything about it. Embargo until next Friday.
I'm gonna bring up another topic about that in a second.
And Tom Holland said that Tobey, Maguire, and Andrew Garfield are not in Spider-Man 3. Nobody has told him anything. He hasn't seen them. That's what he says, at least. And so, unless Marvel and Sony are keeping this secret somehow from him, they won't be in the movie. Andy, let's start with you. How are you feeling about this? And do you think Tom is lying?
Dude, I don't know. That's the problem. Is I think Tom and Mark Ruffalo are on the freaking blacklist for people they actually give the whole script to. Aren't they notorious for just straight up spoiling stuff so constantly?
At least in Infinity War and Endgame they were. I don't know if it's terrible. A counting thing.
I think Benedict Cumberbatch might have been the only person they trusted to have the full script or so. There was something weird, but I don't know what to trust anymore because he's up in the air. But honestly, my personal thought was that Maguire and Holland.
Garfield.
Thank you. And Garfield were going to appear in Doctor Strange. And then maybe they were filming them at the same time.
Yeah.
Or parts
that would make sense. That would make sense. How about you, Zach?
They're in the film. I'll just say that. But they're in the movie. They just don't have a big part from what I understand. And which a big part's no, it's 15, 20 minutes from what we've heard. Here's the thing with that 15 20 minutes, that's a lot of screen time. Actually, people don't notice how much screen time is actually there. I think one of the craziest things to me is when I found out how much screen time Kirsten Dunst actually has in the original Spider-Man films. It's overall all three films it's 30 minutes, which that's absolutely insane to think that all three films she has that much. So I think Holland knows. Holland knows. And that post he did a week ago of him with his brother on his shoulder saying, if you were there today, you know what I'm talking about. If you weren't, be prepared to be blown away. That's the first day that they were all on set. Come on.
Could be.
There's so many things that come out about it. It's the guy, the food delivery guy delivering food to Andrew Garfield in Atlanta.
Yeah.
That kind of just blew it. There's the talks of Toby already on set. I think what's going to happen is that this film, the ending of it's going to be blown up a little bit, and I think the next Spider-Man film will not be Spider-Man 4. It'll be Spider-Verse, a legit live-action Spider-Verse.
Yeah, and
that'll be that team-up film, and that'll be it. And then they'll do Spider-Man 4 afterwards. And I'm going to go with what Griffin said. Sam Raimi will direct it.
Wow. Big predictions. I hate it. I hate it if they actually do that. I'll hate if they actually do Spider-Verse. I want Spider-Man 4. Just give me Spider-Man 4. Give me Spider-Man focused movies. It's very notorious. Everybody knows. Everyone who watches this show knows I am very worried for Spider-Man 3. I can't help but be excited at the same time because I just love MCU. I love Spider-Man. I love bringing superheroes and multiverses together. But I want a Spider-Man focused movie. And I feel this one is getting a little bit too crowded. We have some questions about the Willem Dafoe things that were rumored earlier this week or already.
Apparently he's on set now.
Apparently he's on set. So I think they are in the movie too. I think of all the things that apparently are in this movie, they are the least of my concerns, even though they're not the thing that leaves me most excited either. So I'm
You're
I'm
a
going.
Debbie Downer. You're a Debbie Downer.
I don't want to be. I don't want to be, but I gotta be honest. So I'm throwing this one in the dungeon because
Well,
Tom,
fuck you.
we can read through you. We know they're on set, so don't lie to us.
Yeah.
So I'm throwing his lies in the dungeon. How about you, Zach?
That's what he wants.
I'm gonna actually. You know what? I'm gonna give Tom the benefit of the doubt. Let's just put it outside.
Okay. How about you, Andy? You have that option.
Gosh, no one man should have all this power. Yeah, no, I'm putting that in. I'm sorry, I'm with Ren. I'm putting that in the dungeon where I actually no. Dang it, Zach. Yeah, I'm putting that on the table. Just I guess because I know they're going to be in the movie, right? I feel like they're going to be in the movie, but I feel like people are going to be like, I think people are writing too much on them reprising their roles, right? Mm-hmm. Where my thought has been that they interact with Spider-Man somehow, or maybe they're mentors to him, or something comes up, you know, kind of like guardian figures. I don't know. But
so do you not think they're playing their characters from those universes?
I personally, I still don't, you know, I'm ready to be wrong on this, but I do not think they're playing their characters from their universes. I still hold to the fact that I think in either this movie or the next one, they're going to do Sinister Six. But at the same time, you know, just because Ren, we've talked about how they've got at least 6 to 7 confirmed members, right?
Yeah.
Of the Sinister Six. Either way, yeah, no. I'm going to go ahead and put that on the table because I feel like there's some merit to what he's saying, but I feel like it's a half truth.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel you. All right, let's go to our third topic, keeping on with MCU, ladies and gentlemen, because last Sunday, for you, my American friends, it was the Super Bowl, a big event that I do not care about. But I care about the trailers that come in the halftime show. And a new trailer for the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, which released a goddamn sexy poster, I might add, just came out. And I want to know what you thought of this trailer. Let's start with Andy.
I think it's like kind of like it's always portrayed comically in the MCU, like Bucky and Falcon's relationship, which, you know, there is like some kind of buddy cop element to that. But going into this trailer and seeing some actual like kind of tension, you know, between the characters, like I think makes it makes it feel a lot more real, but also feel like they're working towards a relationship, you know, like having to work and earn the ability to like fight alongside each other and for Sam to grow into that role as Captain America.
Yeah.
But also, you know, Bucky's going to be holding him to that standard. He is holding him to his best friend, Steve Rogers' standard. So there's going to be even more tension that Sam has to fight against. That's what I got.
For sure. How about you, Zach?
I've told you that this is my least anticipated show, but it's hard for me to even say that now because of the trailer. Just incredible. Absolutely incredible. This looks to be one hell of a show. But everyone needs to kind of be wary because there's apparently a lot of leaks out there of what happens in the show.
Okay.
Yeah. There's a lot of it's only 6 episodes, hour long each. Just give me it. But also, Disney, if you're listening, please do not put Bad Batch out at the same exact time as this show. Just please don't. Just please don't.
It will get slaughtered.
They absolutely will not, because they need to. They need to stagger us, dude. Slow.
That's what I'm saying.
Coming in.
God, I hope so.
For sure. I love the trailer, especially the score. The score was banger in that trailer. It was amazing. This gives me a lot of Winter Soldier, like the movie vibes.
Yeah, Sharon Carter in this, man.
Love it. Sharon Carter. Zemo is like a mastermind behind the scenes. Just feels like he's constantly in control. I love the friction that is teased between Sam and Bucky of which one is going to hold the shield. Because I said this in my trailer reaction, I'll say it again. In the comics, both of them have been Captain America at one point. I much prefer Bucky as Captain America in the comics. I think in the MCU specifically, it makes all the sense in the world for Sam to pick up that shield. So this one just leaves me even more hyped. As a whole, I'll say I prefer the other trailer from the Disney investors meeting, but this one is awesome. This one is amazing. Love seeing the costume of Zemo that they adapted into the live action thing.
Yep.
Very curious why they do not show anything yet of the US agent, played by Wyatt Russell. Just a lot of mystery kept around him. So I'm curious if they're doing that because they are doing something interesting with a character that is not from the comics, or it's just it happened that he was not in the trailer. So overall, I am very much knighting this, gentlemen. How about you? Let's start with Andy.
Easy night. Zach, yeah, to your point, like it's shockingly not the series I'm most excited for, because I really want to see Blade and Moon Knight so freaking badly.
Moon Knight's my most anticipated. But you know which one I didn't care for? Loki. And now I'm like out of my mind excited for that show because of that trailer.
I'm still wishy-washy, just because I'm gonna watch everything. But, I've still got my hopes riding on these two, so I hope that I don't I hope I don't overhype it. Either way, yeah, this is an easy night. This is going to be a good show. This is going to be a fun ride. Actually, to say, I think I saw someone mention Falcon. Eric was saying Falcon and Winter Soldier looks fun, but I don't think it's going to be anywhere near the level of WandaVision, TBH. I can get that, but I think the best part of them doing so many shows like this is that they can go in so many different directions in terms of genre and tone.
Something
So
different for everyone.
there's two things I think they're setting up right now. There's the multiverse stuff. Actually, three. Let me say three things. Multiverse, cosmic, and then they have the grounded stuff like this that I think setting up like Thunderbolts and everything of that nature.
Yes, man.
And then I guess underlying thing, Young Avengers. Like that's kind of like the background thing.
Yes. Sorry, you're right.
That's just the way that I see it, and I think that's what we're gonna be looking forward to. So time will tell.
So are you uniting this, Zach?
Yeah, I love the trailer. Yeah, I loved it. I got nothing to complain about.
All right.
This is a great trailer.
Zach, do you want to introduce the next topic? Because I know you're way more excited about it than I am.
Sure. Yeah. So, last year, one of the highest grossing films was Sonic the Hedgehog, which was not excited about. If you would have told me I would have liked it, I would have told you were lying. I liked the movie. I think it was fun, and shout out to those visual effects artists who pulled off the ultimate task that should have been on the short list for the Oscars. Disrespectful that they didn't even look at that.
Seriously,
but
that was incredible.
Yeah, but going in, we have the announced date of Sonic the Hedgehog, April 8th, 2022. Way earlier than I thought we were gonna get it. I thought it was gonna be 2023 at the most, or late 2022. Smart to stay in the start. That's what they did last year. It's starting to film right now, and Knuckles is going to be in the film. Jason Momoa is offered the role, but as it turns out, just with Ollie and Keanu Reeves, I think that's more of just now who they might be going for. So it looks probably Jason's probably not going to play Knuckles. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I'm excited though. I think this is something now. The original script for this film was supposed to be less humans, more of the Sonic universe. And the studio told them no because money. We can't afford that. But there's rumors that that's what this film's going to be, is that original script. Which that original script had Dr. Eggman crazy, Knuckles, Tails, Sonic, them going through different portals, like literally going everywhere. And if that's the truth, take my money. Take all my money. That's the video game movie I want to see. I don't want to see Sonic eating at Olive Garden for the third time or any of that nature. But this is exactly what I want to see. And I'm excited. I'm more excited than I was. And I wasn't like the biggest fan of the first one, but I enjoyed it. I thought it was fun.
Have you tried their never-ending pasta? It's never-ending. Andy, what do you think about the announcement of Sonic 2, and how do you feel about the first one?
I have not seen the first one.
Oh, the pasta.
I did not feel the need.
The pasta thing I just said is an actual line in the movie, just so you know.
Oh no, I figured, but I was also thinking about how I went to Olive Garden last week, and it's better than I remember it being.
I've never been to Olive Garden because it doesn't exist outside the States, but I would love to.
Yeah.
I'm not. I wasn't big on Sonic. I don't hate it. I think I give it a C or a C plus, something like that. It's enjoyable. It's fine. I just felt the urge to go and play Sonic Battle again because that game
Good game.
slaps so fucking hard.
They made
but
that game for you.
They did.
Yeah.
If they do a second movie that is more focused on the Sonic worlds and his friends running around kicking ass against Dr. Eggman, if they bring in Shadow in the future, if they bring in Chaos, I'm very in for this.
Oh, no.
It's one of those things that I don't think the first movie is good. I don't really like it, but I'm excited to see what they can do. These types of properties, these IPs will always have a part of me that gets excited for them, even if I don't like what came before. So yeah. Andy, you wanted to say something?
Yeah, man, I'm throwing this in the dungeon. I'm sorry. I'm throwing this in the dungeon real hard. I'm sorry. I know people like the movie, but I want have y'all Googled your name? Like Google your name, then the Hedgehog. Okay, you've heard of this, right?
Oh, no, wait, no.
Okay, so Google your name, like Ren, Google Ren the Hedgehog. Zach, Google Zach the Hedgehog. And anyone in the comments, Google your first name and then put the Hedgehog after it.
Oh, what?
Oh.
Exactly. Okay, so that's why I'm putting this in.
That's not too bad. I'm basically a red Sonic.
Yeah, dude. You see, you're lucky, man. You are one of the lucky ones. Trust me. My friend's name is Riley, and that one gets real dark real fast. So yeah, I get. So Sonic's a great property and like has a lot of love, but it's kind of like Mega Man. Like I love the Mega Man game series, and it's one of my favorite game series. But
how do you feel that they're doing a movie for that?
Wait, what?
It's not. We don't know who's in it yet, but yeah, they're making a movie for Mega Man too.
I wish I didn't hear that. That's going in the dungeon too. But yeah, no, I'm glad that Sonic was a great movie, and I really think they can do a great sequel. I think I'm putting it in the dungeon because I'm a little afraid of them kind of making the same mistakes that the game series did, like later on as it aged.
You mean for Sonic Boom and such?
Dude, even before Sonic Boom, it started getting weird. Shadow the Hedgehog game, like the standalone.
That's awesome. That's Shadow as the Punisher. I love that game.
Yeah, it's got some good elements to it. It's just, I know, it started to deviate more from like the actual Sonic gameplay and like what made Sonic like Sonic.
Mm-hmm. No, I get you. I get you for sure. I'm not knighting this. I'm not throwing it in the dungeon because again, there's a part of me that is somewhat excited, but I need to see more. I need to see if they actually go for that Sonic worlds and his friends and whatnot. Less humans, more Sonic creatures. So I'm sending this one back and wait for it to return with more updates and more news. How about you, Zach?
So if what I said doesn't happen, and I'm gonna come back and throw them in the dungeon. But if or maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Let's just get the movie. But where's Spider-Verse 3? Yeah. I know it's October 2022, but at this point, you got to roll that boat down the hill, man.
For sure.
No. And I want just Spider-Verse 2 so badly.
Same. Let's go into our penultimate topic, gentlemen. Also, earlier this week, the Illuminati came out with the report that Sony had offered the role of Kraven the Hunter for his solo movie to Keanu Reeves. You're clearly excited, Andy. Let's start with you. What do you think? How are you feeling about this? How does Keanu fit into the role in your mind?
So, fun fact about who's heard of y'all have heard of the Superior Spider-Man?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the comic arc where Doc Ock takes over Peter Parker's body. Everyone thought it was going to suck. I thought it was going to suck. It was incredible.
Me too.
But I say that because there was technically a Superior Spider-Man before Doc Ock. It was Kraven the Hunter. Craven killed Spider-Man, put him in it, or I guess incapacitated him, put him in a grave, and then became Spider-Man just to be to prove that he could be a better Spider-Man than Spider-Man. So that's the kind of dude you're dealing with. Someone who is human, who maybe has some enhancement, but is tactical enough. He's a hunter. He's not leading armies. He's just very driven on hunting his prey, and he will not stop. which is basically like John Wick. So Keanu Reeves is perfect for the role.
For sure. I am ecstatic about this. Keanu Reeves as Craven the Hunter. Give that to me right now. Inject it directly into my veins. Keanu Reeves is another guy who would have made a good Joel now that we bring him up. But he's really amazing for this role. However, I do not desire, I do not have the need whatsoever for a Craven the Hunter solo movie. Give me Craven's Last Hunt in a Spider-Man movie. That's all I want. That's all I need. But the news itself being the casting of Keanu Reeves, the possible casting of Keanu Reeves, who is a very busy man, by the way, so nothing points to the fact that he will accept the role. But if he does, I will be very excited to see him play one of Spider-Man's best villains, one of the most underrated villains in Marvel Comics. So as far as the casting itself, very excited. Just do not need a solo movie for this character. How about you, Zach?
From what I understand, he passed, sadly, on the role. Which sucks. But I like that casting. Yeah. But what it actually makes me view it as is Craven, I think, is going to be an action film, like a heavy one, like John Wick. That's what makes me interested.
Yeah.
More in this film than I ever was. And you know who he should hunt down if we're not going to do Spider-Man?
I know what you're going to say.
Venom.
Oh,
Venom or Carnage.
Oh no,
or both. Or both. I don't know.
Not Carnage.
So, but I'm excited. You know, but I would prefer the Wild Hunt one more than this solo film. Like, I actually thought that's what Spider-Man 3 was going to be about.
Me too.
This was the perfect time to bring in Craven. But for all we know, here's the thing: Craven could be in the film.
Well,
that's true.
I think that Craven. So there's two reasons why I think Craven is probably going to be in. Like, why I'm banking on him being in the MCU, if not in Spider-Man 3. So remember, Spider-Man's identity is revealed at the end of Homecoming. So he's on the run. So what do you do if someone's on the run? You hire a hunter. So that's why I think they're going to bring him in, or there's going to be someone who's got stake. There's going to be a manhunt on, so that points to it. But a lot of people don't know this, but the Chameleon is Craven the Hunter's cousin.
Yeah.
And the reason why I mention that is because I forget his name, Anatoly or whatnot, but one of the guards in Spider-Man Homecoming is named the Chameleon's secret identity.
Yeah, true.
There is that potential that they've already confirmed Craven the Hunter is in the universe, or that at least the Kravinoff family is in the MCU.
Yeah, that's true. That's a smooth way to implant the.
Eric Thorpe just said Henry Cavill is Craven.
I'd be in for that. I've
been saying that, man. Henry Cavill, if DC don't want to help you out, Captain Britain or this.
Captain
Britain. Henry Cavill is Captain Britain.
You want that.
I'm so in for that.
I saw a Wolverine too, but I'm like, man, let me say this real fast also with the Spider-Man multiverse stuff. If Quicksilver turns out,
we're talking about
everyone's caught up, everyone's caught up on WandaVision, at least right here, right? If you're watching this, and obviously the title of the video is "What's Next for WandaVision."
If you're not caught up on WandaVision, mute this right now. 1, 2, 3, go.
Okay, if that is really Quicksilver from that universe,
it isn't.
I still think it is in some way, shape, or form.
So
I mean, yes and no. We'll get to it. But continue your thoughts.
Then I think that literally is they're from their universes type thing.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Yeah, I'm done.
So in the end, Zach, even though we know he turned down the role apparently, would you knight Keanu Reeves as Craven the Hunter, or would you send it to the dungeon?
You know what? I'm actually going to knight it. Mm-hmm. Because now it makes me view this that they're going a John Wick route for the film, which I was not expecting. That I was expecting like something like Venom or something of that nature, but this makes me excited.
All right, how about you, Andy?
I'm in Zach's camp of now that you guys have like kind of brought it up to me, because I can't keep up with the movies that Sony's putting out, because I mean they were supposed to be doing like an Aunt May film or something, So like I can't. I just kind of started tuning out what Spider-Man movies they're even trying to make, because some of them. But it's like I think of movies like Venom, which are a hot mess that work. It's bottled lightning, and then I think about movies like Joker in terms of what you can accomplish with a villain film. And when you make that comparison, right, like a John Wick film, a John Wick style Craven the Hunter film, then it's like, yeah, I would so be in for that. Or if it were dark and action packed enough that it was worth the investment. So nodding it.
All right. I'm nodding it as well. Again, only because the news we're covering is Keanu Reeves as Craven. Again, I do not like the fact that we're getting a solo Craven movie, even though I'm excited that if we're getting one, it's an action movie. It's focused on action. Cool. I just don't think the character needs a solo movie. But if Keanu were to play this character, that would be amazing. All right, gentlemen, our last topic before we go to live questions, which we have a lot today, so we'll have to answer them fast. And by the way, before I forget, there will be a movie at the end of this. Am
I doing it this week? Because I have
I'm doing it. I'm doing it.
Oh, okay.
I was meant to do it last week and I forgot. So by the end of today's episode, I will recommend a movie for Movie Club for you guys to watch up until next week and discuss it as soon as the show begins. All right, our last topic, ladies and gentlemen. Last Friday, episode 5 of WandaVision came out, and it ended with a bang. Holy shit. That was a cameo, ladies and gentlemen. A big cameo at the end of last week's WandaVision when somebody knocked at the door in the 80s. Let's keep that in mind, in the 80s. And it was Evan Peters, Quicksilver from the X-Men universe. If you turn on the Italian or Spanish subtitles, in fact, the dubs, and you put in the audio descriptive subtitles in English, it says, Wanda stares at Pietro from the X-Men films. That's exactly what he says, because this is only visually Pietro, but it is someone else who brought his image in. They just brought in the wrong Pietro. That's my theory right now. This cameo to end the episode on was bonkers. This is my favorite episode of the series thus far. I cannot wait for tomorrow's episode. It's going to be insane. The only thing that sucks really is that from tomorrow we'll only have 3 more episodes of this show. Zach, how are you feeling about this? What are your thoughts? What are your theories? Where's your mind?
So I'm going to stay away from tomorrow's episode because that's the episode I got leaked on. That's the one I got spoiled on. So I knew he was in this show. Well, I knew Evan was in it. But as Quicksilver, I knew he was Quicksilver around 2 weeks ago. Okay. I knew he showed up in episode 6. I didn't expect him in 5 though.
Okay.
So I knew he was in 6. I knew the kids had grown up a bit. And the commercial actually, they always have a commercial. That the commercial's actually in I've seen the commercial. Yeah. Okay. I've seen that commercial.
Oh crap.
Because someone posted it and I'm like a picture. I'm like, is that real? Like it seemed like an actual commercial, and no, it's part of the leak. Past this, from what I don't know, and I really mean I do not know any of this. I gotta say this. There's part of me that would love for this not to be Quicksilver and for it to be Mephisto, and I still think Mephisto's in here. But a part of me also really, really, really wants it to be Quicksilver, because I made a bet with like 3 people that Magneto or Professor X shows up at the end of this show.
Well, just because it isn't Quicksilver doesn't mean the others can show up. I have a theory, but I'm going to let you finish.
Ren, it also doesn't mean that this isn't Quicksilver and Mephisto's just not using him. You know what I mean?
Yes, of course.
So the way that I view it is, I think if they were going to do the Mephisto thing, you do Aaron Taylor Johnson. That's the way I view it. If you're going to do it, do Aaron Taylor Johnson as the look.
That's the thing. He had to go get a Quicksilver somewhere from another universe, and he got the wrong one for this universe.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
It's exciting, but I I really don't know where they're gonna go. Who's playing Mephisto? How's he gonna come in? If he is even in the show, Agatha is the witch. I mean, I think we all are understanding that she is the witch, and if she's not, I'll be shocked.
It's gotta be, but if she is, that scene with her on the fence in episode three is really odd.
So, but can we remember this? And this is something I went back. The last trailer, remember when Vision and her having that conversation in that car, and Vision touches her, and she
that trailer.
Okay, never mind. I'll stop. I'll stop.
I didn't see anything.
I'll stop.
I only watched the first trailer. Sorry.
We were talking theories. That's why I started going into that.
No worries. You don't have to apologize. It's natural that you assume we'd watch the trailers. But Andy, how are you feeling about this? How much did this cameo shock you?
I mean, a lot, man, a lot. But then okay, everyone put on their tinfoil hats because, man, I'm drinking the Kool-Aid on this one. So oh gosh, dang it, who's the geeky girl from
Darcy?
Thank you, Darcy. So doesn't she say she has like an aerospace engineer?
Yes.
So do we have any idea who that might be? Because I also have an idea on that.
No, but the Portuguese, Spanish, and Italian dubs have confirmed that whoever it is, it's a woman. It's a female engineer.
I have an idea, but I don't know much on the character, but I'll let Andy finish.
I was borderline going to say that I thought we were going to see the Fantastic Four introduced in this as well.
You're not the first one to bring it up.
So, because we go into the Fantastic Four, we go into the fact that they've already mentioned cosmic radiation. Mm-hmm. We go into the fact that we do see, like you said, we see an X-Men, we see Quicksilver appear, right? But because it's his version of Quicksilver, that causes a conflict in the fact that he's confirmed to be a mutant. So now you've brought a mutant over into this reality, if in fact he is if that is Evan Peters. Mm-hmm. But because of her reality bending powers, right? It's like basically that she can't bring back the dead, but she can basically emulate the effect, right? That she can grab someone from the multiverse that basically matches as closely to what she's trying to find as possible. So that might also factors into Spider-Man, right?
Yeah. Okay, let's keep our tinfoil hats on. Here's what I'm predicting.
Oh boy.
Her Darcy's space engineer, aerial space engineer, that has been confirmed to be a woman due to subtitles. I think that is going to be Riri Williams, aka Ironheart.
Stop. That's what I was gonna say.
Nice.
The show does not come out for like 2 years or like next year, but the actress is already cast. It's kind of weird if she's not going to show up very soon. So that's one of the theories.
Yeah, because for me, I thought her first appearance was gonna be Armor Wars, which is supposed to be next year.
Yeah.
So, or even Winter Soldier. That's my pick. I think Riri does show up. I don't know anything about her really, though. I just know she's one of the smartest human beings in the world. The other character, and I don't know who this is, but I was looking it up, and Abigail Brand. She's one of the major characters from Sword. Yeah, she's the director of Sword.
Thank you for reminding me. Yeah, but that's where it gets weird because Sword is supposed to be alien, right? But then Abigail Brand, she is part alien, so that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But in the MCU, it's not alien because when they first showed what Sword stands for is sentient weapons, something. Yeah. So they changed Sword in the MCU. Okay, I discussed this with Zach. I need to bring this theory out here right now because Zach and I have been discussing who do we want to show up. What's the next big person? Because Zach and I think that Evan Peters' Quicksilver and the supposedly Luke Skywalker level cameo that we're going to get are two completely different things, two completely different people. So Zach wants it to be Michael Fassbender's Magneto. And if Magneto shows up, I want it to be Michael Fassbender.
Yeah.
But that is really cool for story. That is really cool for the character, but it doesn't help us in terms of a story because Magneto is going to be cool, but he cannot help Wanda. Magneto stands no chance at helping Wanda. However, that is someone that keeps the door open for Magneto to have his emotional impact at meeting Wanda in a future movie, maybe Doctor Strange too. And that is someone that can actually help Wanda and understands her powers and can give some intel into Sword on what is actually going on. Now, what we've established in the show thus far is that Wanda Westview is in New Jersey. Miss Marvel is in New Jersey.
Yep.
Wanda is emitting a strange radiation that is as old as the universe itself.
Oh, no dang way.
Teragenesis is as old as the universe itself. So instead of no more mutants, Wanda in the MCU inadvertently creates the Inhumans, not the mutants.
Yeah, but
Also, the cameo that I think will show up that helps Wanda as a character, fills us in on what is actually going on, can actually help her with what this person understands of her powers and whatnot, is Patrick Stewart as Professor Charles Xavier. Imagine this. Wanda is going nuts. Vision has broken out of the dome. She's lifting things up, making things disappear. Nobody knows what is going on. Suddenly, a voice off screen comes in and says, I may be able to help. Cut to Patrick Stewart in a wheelchair, and the episode ends, and we all laugh and hate that we have another week to wait. So, deconstruct my theory, if you will, gentlemen.
So I'm with you on that. I don't think it's Patrick anymore, though, even though I was agreeing with you last week. And I only say that because his last interview said Logan was his final performance.
Yeah, but...
Yes, and I know they say that, but he's the only one that, like, I don't know. I feel like that... I don't know. We'll see.
I think whenever you say a final performance coming back for a cameo, like I don't think you would stick around and be the...
See, that's my thing. I think they're not going to do cameos right now. I really think this is like... They're sticking around. Whoever but again, I need context on Quicksilver before we can go any further with like a theory.
Mm-hmm.
I need to know what's going on. I think this episode tonight or Friday morning will definitely show that. Also, we just have breaking news stuff.
Oh shit.
So Peacemaker officially got a release date.
Okay, cool.
January 2022.
Wow.
And we now know when The Last of Us will shoot.
We do.
Any week now. It's shooting before Mando, and Pedro Pascal will shoot the HBO's Last of Us series before moving on to the season 3 of The Mandalorian. And that Mandalorian 3, he is not needed on set for quite a while because of the mess.
Yeah. All right. Sounds good. How about you, Andy? How are you feeling about my theory? And do you hate it? Do you love it?
I think I'm like kind of on board for your theory, except I think it's going to be maybe Dr. X and Magneto because
both. Okay.
Because X3 was such a great movie, but let's look back to X3 about how we see that Magneto and Dr. X will work together on big cases, right? So when they first go and visit Jean Grey when her Phoenix is being unleashed in that movie, they go together, right? Because they have to work together to kind of simmer her down. So it could be that they both appear to like kind of, help mile out Wanda. And then that in essence, maybe they have the other X-Men on standby or the other X-Men on standby. Maybe they're recast. I don't know. But I do think I'd like to see Michael Fassbender's Magneto personally, just so that Patrick Stewart and Sir Ian can have a break. But
that's what I was going to ask because every all the conversations I've had, everyone says they want Michael Fassbender Magneto, but they want Patrick Stewart Xavier. So since you're predicting both show up, who do you think shows up? James McAvoy and Michael Fassbender, or Patrick Stewart and Sir Ian?
The former. I think McAvoy and Fassbender, just because I hate to say they've got more life in them, but they do. Once again, those are, if we're talking about Evan Peters' Quicksilver coming into play, then age-wise and like timeline-wise, it would also be those two who match up with that.
That's true. One thing that hasn't been brought up yet on a lot of conversations, and I rewatched the episode yesterday as well. Does anyone else, and this is another thing that leads me to believe that is not actually Quicksilver himself, because he's not acting like Quicksilver acted in the X-Men movies. the way he talked, the way.
But you have to remember
his
that
sister.
universe, like Wanda's controlling it.
But that's exactly what I'm saying. Where did she come up with this guy if it was her? Why wouldn't she come up with her brother?
Maybe she spoke it into existence. I don't know. Again,
But
there's
that's the
so many
thing.
questions though.
Yeah,
Like you
it's
can't
true.
like I think this week's episode will give us a more definitive like look, because I think this episode's like honestly, I think this episode's the last one for the sitcom stuff.
Yeah.
I think this is it.
Because this has got to be the ending of Act 2 now. Because we have 9 episodes. The first 3 were the first act, and on the third episode, we got that big reveal and Monica getting pushed out of the dome. And now we're 3 episodes later than that. It's got to end, and it's got to give us another twist somehow. Something else that raises the stakes, and now everything just gets really, really bad. We should be at the point of no return by the end of tomorrow's episode.
So, and then to your point, right, about how he's not acting like the Quicksilver we know from the MCU. I mean, I mean from the
from the X-Men movies.
Yeah, from the X-Men movies is we have to remember that Wanda is from Sokovia, right? So she is, she's foreign, but all of her memories, this whole reality she's engineered, right? This sub-reality, whatever, is all based off like American culture and sitcoms. So,
yeah, true.
It's not like she's creating something that emulates her own culture and nature. It's more like she's emulating, maybe stuff she grew up with, maybe some of her influences or whatever she associates as being idealistic.
Yeah. True.
So kind of having the weird Fonzie style brother, is probably what she's thinking of, is having the cool older brother because she wants the cool uncle character for her kids or whatever, probably. Is what she's thinking of. I don't know.
For sure. All right, gentlemen, let's knight this or send it to the dungeon, depending on how excited are we for tomorrow's episode. Let's start with you, Andy.
Night. Hard night. I've got to freaking, man, I got to know. But I hate it because then I'm just going to want more. I'm going to have to wait another week and crawl back into my hole. But still.
For sure. How about you, Zach?
Dude, just give me it. Give me it all. Now and forever.
Yeah, I'm with you guys. Just this episode can get here fast enough. I'm so not turning on Twitter tomorrow. I know, Andy. This happens every Friday. I wake up, I get down to get my coffee, I go to work out, but as soon as I get down and I'm pouring my coffee, I don't go to Twitter, but I check if I do have any messages on Twitter. And every day I have a message from Zach because as soon as I wake up, my 8 a.m. is his midnight. So Zach is going to bed as soon as I wake up. So I will have a message saying, dude, don't go to Twitter. Don't go to Twitter, dude. And I'm like, yeah.
Last week that was like that. I was like, do fucking not, man.
Literally, Zach and I miss each other by a matter of minutes. Because if I woke up 5 minutes earlier than I do, I would probably be able to speak to Zach for 5 minutes before.
Unless I'm screaming at my thing for not uploading.
That's true. It has happened before. All right, gentlemen, let's go to Twitter questions. We have a lot of Twitter questions, so let's get started. Eric Thorpe asks, will we finally get the Halloween episode tomorrow? We will. It has been confirmed.
That's the episode, yeah.
Zach even has more information than he wish he had about tomorrow's episode, so you can confirm that it is the Halloween episode.
Yes, that's the Halloween episode.
All right. Eric Thorpe also asks, we didn't talk about this one, so it's fair to ask. Also, what are your guys' thoughts on Bella Ramsey being cast as in HBO's Last of Us series? Let me start with this one. I love Bella Ramsey in Game of Thrones as Lady Mormont. I really do love her. I am somewhat hesitant is not even the right word, but I'm not excited for her as much as I am for Pedro, only because Game of Thrones is literally the only thing I have ever seen her in. So I don't have a vast knowledge of her range, what else she can do. Judging from Game of Thrones, I like it. I know she can do something. So she has my trust, I just don't know enough about her to be excited. Andy, how about you?
I'm legitimately indifferent. I think a huge thing isn't going to be the actress. It's just going to be the chemistry, like y'all had brought up earlier. And we know, like I saw in the comments, and I agree 100, 200, 2000%, like that Pedro Pascal was the best thing about Wonder Woman 2, about Wonder Woman 84. So the dude can carry the Star Wars universe and can carry apparently the DCEU while being a villain. So the actress doesn't matter to me so much as whoever they have as the actress and her ability to have that chemistry, this kind of father-daughter chemistry with Pedro Pascal. But I say that also because, to your point, I don't know Bella Ramsey or her tenure enough to, be excited for her being in that role specifically.
All right. Zach, you've spoken your mind to her.
Yeah, I think we also have to keep in mind she's pretty much a newcomer still.
True. Very true. Very true.
We don't know much from her. We don't know what they did in that acting room. I trust everyone involved. I really do. No one's let me down yet. So
if she has Neil Druckmann's trust, she has mine. Joe Fletcher, if they recast Cara Dune, do you think she will be the lead of Rangers of the New Republic? Yes, I do. It's either going to be her or Appa from Kim's Convenience, played by Paul Sun-Young Lee, who is awesome. I loved so much when he showed up in The Mandalorian. Which, by the way, everyone in America, Kim's Convenience is on Netflix, and everyone in the UK, it is also on Netflix over here. Speaking of things that are on Netflix, Andy, I confirmed that Demon Slayer is on Netflix over here too. So maybe soon I will start, because I just started watching Superstore. That's another tangent that I will not go into. When I say I just started, I meant I started on Saturday. I'm on season 5 right now.
Wait, what are you watching?
Superstore.
It's a comedy show, isn't it?
Yeah. It's really fun. For anyone who watches Superstore or plans on starting watching Superstore after this, Garrett is the best character in that show. Garrett and Glenn are the best characters in that show. Where are we? More questions. Here we go. The one I brought up. Heezy Hay says Oscar Isaac as Tommy. That's a really good question. The really good casting. I love it. Who do you think will be cast for other roles? Tess, I think, could even be the actress from the game, which true. But Tommy, I would love Nicolaj from Game of Thrones as well. Also another great casting. Zach and I talked about this a while ago when we were talking about the games, I believe, when the second game had just come out. I still don't have anybody specific come to mind when I think of Tess. I think it's a role that basically...
Oh, I know who I want now.
Most people could do. I'm going to bring Thandie Newton to the table. She'd be great in that role.
Good. Mine's Evangeline Lilly.
Who? Oh, Evangeline. Yeah. Oh, yeah. She'd be great.
Yeah, and for me, Tess was actually supposed to have a bigger role in the first game.
True.
So Tess might actually have a bigger role in the show. So, because Neil Druckmann said the best thing about the show is now I can expand on more of the moments.
They're probably going to do more between when how should I say this? Andy, until what part did you play the first game? So I don't spoil anything.
Dude, you can spoil anything. Literally, it's been so long.
So I think they can explore a lot between when Sarah dies and then until the moment where Joel actually finds Ellie. I think we could very well spend 2 episodes between those 2 points in the story.
I agree.
General Kenobi says, I love to see Pietro use his powers in the scene similar to Days of Future Past tomorrow in WandaVision. It's possible. I don't think we'll see exactly that. But I think it's possible and would be very, very within Kevin Feige to like wink at the audience in that way. What do you think, Andy?
Yeah, it's one of those things where General Kenobi, I agree with you, where I would definitely love those scenes are so killer, right? Him just slowing down and putting on a track. But like sometimes like you got to be careful about getting rid of the novelty of it. But I do agree that if they did like a one-off here, right, especially with like some 80s music, because that's just so fitting, then I think it would be perfect, honestly.
For sure. How about you, Zach?
Don't ask me. Anything about tomorrow's episode, just don't ask me. I know too much.
Sorry, bro.
That's fair.
I'm so sorry.
João Magalhães is asking when the show releases. So when did you say the show starts shooting, Zach?
So it's supposed to start shooting any second now, because Mando shoots in March or April, or maybe May. I can't remember. One of the 3, because Boba Fett's almost done, and they're going to use the same exact set.
Yeah.
So again, I don't remember if it's March, April, May, or if March was like that's like the pre-production's almost done type thing. But from what we understand is, yeah, Last of Us is filming first, but Mando will probably start filming at the same time, but they don't need him on set right away.
Yeah. So this is my whenever you see that the news comes out that it has started shooting, mark it in your calendars that 1 year later it's gonna come out, because that's just a general rule when it comes to TV shows and movies. Sometimes when it comes to TV, it's even a shorter time than that, so like 9 months after it starts shooting or something. So yeah, Jorge asks, do you think this is perfect casting? Pedro, I think, is as perfect as it gets. Lina Ramsey, not so much. Again, only because I've seen it in one thing, so I don't have a wide pool to judge her from. How about you, Andy? Do you think Pedro is perfect casting for Joel?
I'm so on board for Pedro Pascal in anything, but that's also why I mentioned Oscar Isaac.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, I have 100% faith in either of those actors to do any role they're in. They have yet to fail me. Even watching Oscar Isaac as Manuel in Drive, he that role, and that was like 10 minutes of screen time, maybe. I don't know. Like,
true. How about you, Zach? Is it perfect casting?
I didn't even predict him, but yeah. I mean, I screamed when I saw Pedro, man.
All right. Jorge also asks, do you think Agnes is Mephisto? Think about it, she knows everything. No, she is not Mephisto, but she knows about Mephisto and she's working with Mephisto. I think. I know
think her husband's Mephisto.
Yeah, exactly. Ralph. How about you, Andy?
It's going to be dumb. So Mephisto was confirmed for this?
No,
they never confirmed.
That's just a running theory.
Yeah.
I don't know enough, and I am curious because I'm also wondering if like Agnes might be like a manifestation of her conscious or something, like in a weird way. I don't know, because she is like providing for her and like helping take care of things that like she's not equipped to take care of, but like she keeps pushing her, she keeps pushing Agnes away at points in times, but only uses her when she's convenient. So I really don't know if that's like
that. That's the thing. I think Vision is her consciousness, because I think one of the things that the last episode established really well is that on some level, because of the way she talks to the kids about it, you can't just grow up suddenly to get over your issues and solve your problems. So I think the last episode, and the fact that she didn't kill anyone, she pointed the guns towards the director but didn't harm anyone, I think it shows us that Wanda knows on some level, even if subconsciously, that what she's doing is somewhat wrong. I think Vision is acting as her consciousness, her Jiminy Cricket, per se, because he's the one that actually questions, hey, Wanda, this here isn't right.
But at the same time, it's like that's more of like an active role than it's separate, right? Because the Vision has his own volition. She can't control him or force him to do anything. Even when she does, he snaps right out of it. So that's kind of different. I mean, but Agnes asks her if she wants to do scenes over again. Like when the twins ask her if she can bring back the dog or not. Like I think she legitimately looks surprised and a little scared.
Yeah.
And when the kids won't settle down, she goes and finds like the rum or something and starts drinking. So she seems like very human to me, but also like she might be the one character in the series that also has like her own free will.
True. How about you, Zach?
I can't say anything. Just because I've seen that trailer, so I don't want to say anything.
I won't ask you anything that has to do with WandaVision.
Well, it's just because I saw that trailer and I didn't know you guys saw it, because I don't want to I don't know. Okay. I just don't want to give anything away that could be a spoiler.
Do you also think that the MCU's X-Men is the same as Fox? No, they're gonna recast. We say this all the time. Feige does not like to play with other people's toys. He likes to play with his own toys. He's gonna play with his own toys. He's gonna recast the X-Men. He's gonna start from scratch. Some way, somehow, he's gonna.
But flat out, he's gonna do whatever he wants. Though.
He also brought J. Jonah Jameson in. That was one of the
true.
I mean, so there are no rules, especially when you have people who have owned those roles.
That's true. That's true.
I'm sure he was like, "Damn, their Quicksilver is better."
Hey, you mind if I see your homework for a second?
Disney, can you buy just That guy? Oh, wait, you bought the whole company. Okay, that's fine. We'll use him.
Well, we tried asking kindly. Now we're just gonna buy you out. Gosh, man.
Thoughts on Blue Sky shutting down? We did not cover the story. Zach, how are you feeling about this?
Honestly, pretty sad. I really hope those animators still have a job. I hope they just got moved to Pixar or Disney or something. And the fact that they were 75% done on their last film and they just shut it down, it's a little sickening to me because, like, especially right now in a pandemic, like, you're gonna, I don't know. It sucks because Blue Sky, even though I haven't loved all their films, I think they're quite underrated. The Peanuts film was super amazing. The first Ice Age was great. I just think for me,
Yeah,
I hope those animators still have somewhat of a job because I think that's what they should have, especially right now.
I'm with you. How about you, Andy?
Man, I just found out about this, and now I just found out who Blue Sky is, and that's sad, man. What the heck? Like, that is sad, especially because animation is. I know. I mean, obviously, animation is a different art form, and it's nice that we're getting in an age where, like I tell you about Demon Slayer, like we talk about anime stuff like that, like we talk about Avatar: The Last Airbender. Is you can have shows that are for any age range, and like adults can talk about them without feeling ostracized. And you have studios like Blue Sky that are making high quality movies. Are they going to be the Pixar movies? No. Are they going to be the Universal movies? No. But at the same time, they still have their own special place, and they still, like you said, put out stuff like Epic and Rio and and freaking Ice Age. So I think maybe that their downfall was they just didn't get a strong enough IP to work with. That like kind of.
I wish they were doing the freaking Mario movie and not Illumination.
Yeah.
True. I feel more for the animators rather than the studio itself. It's a shame. So, like Zach, I hope they got a job somewhere else already, whether it's still within Disney or not. Just hope they're safe and their job secured. Have you guys seen Chernobyl, the same showrunner from The Last of Us? Yes. It's an amazing show, but fuck episode 4 of that show.
Don't say anything. I actually haven't seen it. I've only seen the first episode.
I won't say anything, but if you've seen the show, you know what I'm talking about. Episode 4, fuck that episode.
Sure. Actually, ironically enough, my favorite anime, Gurren Lagann, has the same problem with episode 4. Their episode 4, for whatever reason, got outsourced to a different animation studio.
So, I remember that.
Here's the thing. It's my favorite anime of all time, but that was the first episode I watched when I was a kid.
Oh, okay.
Turned the TV on. It's like, oh, let's watch this episode. And boom, I see that one. I don't touch it again until like 5 years later. I watched the whole show, and I was like, that was great. What was up with that episode? So is Chernobyl like that? Like where it's just an off episode, or like where
it's just something that I don't feel comfortable watching, and it's an entire episode of it.
Okay, I think it's on HBO. So apparently,
it is. It's not anything like it's not the writing was bad or the acting, direction, etc. It's just something that the entire episode is dedicated to a topic that I'm never comfortable watching, and it's 1 hour of it. So yeah. Joe Fletcher, how many villains do you think will be in Spider-Man 3 now that Willem Dafoe has been spotted on set? I mean, just do the head count. Who is in it? Doc Ock, Electro.
More than 6 right now.
Wait, did they confirm Doc? Oh wait, Alfred Molina. You're right.
Yeah.
So remember, we also have Matt Gargan, who is confirmed to be in universe.
Yeah,
so you have Vulture still in universe. You have the Prowler, Aaron Davis,
Mysterio.
You have Mysterio.
Could be
Shocker.
Sandman's rumored to be in this one.
Like you said, Electro.
I think the Spider Slayers are in it.
I think Craven. Oh gosh, Alistair Smythe. So Smythe might be in this. Green Goblin. Either way, I think we're getting Sinister Six, or that they're going to form the Sinister Six.
I'm telling you right now, if Kevin Feige pulls this off, I will never, ever. He could tell me tomorrow that he's making a show called Captain America Sits on a Couch and Looks at the Wall painting that's drying as an old man for 30 hours, and I'd watch it.
That's a tricky title. It's a tricky title, but I'm sure he can make it work.
If they pull it off, if they do this, if they do unimaginable. I will cry. I will cry because it will probably be the most beautiful thing I witness in this lifetime. And I'm saying that because I might, Lord willing, I might have a kid one day, and I think it'll be more beautiful than watching my son's birth. Like, and that.
I'm with you, Andy. 100%. Let's go to Gico EP. A big question. One of two. Do you hate that do you hate complaints about something in a movie, but when another movie does the same have the same issue, but just praise that particular movie? That's me with Guardians 2 and Ragnarok. As many people, why is it not changing? When people complain about Volume 2 having too many jokes that undercut the emotional parts, but Thor Ragnarok, in my opinion, does the same and does it worse, yet people say it's everything Volume 2 should be. I agree with you. I'm basically the other people, but in reverse. I think the jokes work really well in Guardians 2, and they don't work in Thor Ragnarok. And I love Taika Waititi. I think Taika Waititi is a better director than James Gunn overall. But I hate it. No, it bothers me a bit, but I never keep on thinking about it.
Mhm.
It annoys me at the moment if I see it, but then I just forget about it because it doesn't bother me. I have my opinion, and I know I'm right. How about you, Zach?
Honestly, you know my feelings on Thor Ragnarok. They're not. I don't. It's definitely not my favorite. I think it's fine. I've been saying it though. I think that film falters because Taika didn't write the script. Taika should have wrote the script for that, and I think that's why I'm more excited for Thor: Love and Thunder, because the thing with Ragnarok is a majority of that film is improvised. It follows the story, it follows what it needs to, but the problem is every single line is a joke. Even the most important ones. In fact, Thor Ragnarok probably should have been the most depressing Thor film.
Actually, to that point, that's kind of why I like it, and the humor in Thor Ragnarok is because same thing with Fat Thor. As much as this is going to sound weird, I always viewed the comedy in them as a psychotic break, not psychotic, but a mental breakdown.
Which
telling the narrative because this dude is going through a massive depressive streak.
So Fat Thor really came across that way to me, but in Ragnarok it really didn't, because for me, Thor wasn't making jokes per se. He was talking about things that, as someone watching that situation, comes across as funny. But in Ragnarok, he actually came across as someone who was trying to be funny. So that's why to me it didn't work. Again, I don't hate the movie. I think it looks amazing. I do have a lot of fun with it. But to me, it is certainly something that took away from the, I hate using this word, but magnificence and gravitas of the first Thor.
Zach, what were you saying though?
I think it's enjoyable. I think it's fun. It's just there's certain moments where I'm like, I wish you didn't make a joke there. Oh my god, I wish you didn't make a joke there either. It's just I was so excited for Thor Ragnarok, and my first viewing, I'm like, that was awesome. But it's viewing after viewing after viewing, it just doesn't work for me. And my parents, that's their least favorite Marvel film. They they fucking hate that movie.
They think
so much.
Thor 2 and they think the Incredible Hulk or the Hulk are better than.
Yep.
Even I think that's wrong.
The Incredible Hulk is underrated.
I mean, it actually is. I need to rewatch it. I need to get some love.
All right, Eric Thorpe. How about Kit Harington as Tommy? Keezy Hay also says it. Would he do a great job? I think so. I don't doubt that he'd do a great job. But I think if you have Pedro Pascal, you cast someone closer in age.
You also cast a Latino.
True.
Well,
True.
I mean, to be fair, they were about to cast Mahershala Ali for.
So it could be an adopted brother or whatever. And to be fair, Pedro Pascal is, at least it looks that way, is a white Latino. I didn't know he was Latino until I learned his name. But look, if they cast Kit, that's fine with me.
I honestly though, I don't want them staying just in HBO realm though.
No,
they gotta expand out too.
Me too. Yeah. For sure. Jorge asks, best Evan Peters role, American Horror Story, Mother House. Remember their different roles. Don't know. I don't watch American Horror Story. I gave up after the first episode of the first season. Probably American Animals for me. It's not even a movie
yeah.
I love, but it's a good movie and he's amazing in it.
Have you seen that movie?
I have.
No,
Otherwise,
Andy. Have you seen it?
Yeah.
American Animals?
Yeah.
I don't
From
think so.
From 2018, it's based on a true story about college kids who I don't even remember what they did. They robbed banks.
They rob a library.
Library.
I didn't. I'm thinking of something else. Never mind. I didn't know.
It's really good.
It's with him and Barry Keoghan and others. Okay, if Zach gets a screener, why don't I get a screener in this situation? For Batman and Last of Us, which one will you? Okay, Zach, you have to choose one of these screeners: the Batman or Last of Us. For me, it's actually easy when you think about it, but you go first.
Okay, wait, how early?
How early?
Oh, nice.
Because you got to remember, The Last of Us is going to be a show, so that's 10 episodes.
When does the Batman? Is it October
It's
2022?
March.
It's March 2022.
I think it's the week of your birthday.
Happy birthday.
Yay.
And then Doctor Strange is the week of mine. It's the day of.
Yay. Let's say January. First week of January, you'll get these two screeners. You have to choose one.
Batman.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you what I answered and why you are wrong. I would choose a screener for Last of Us because I would want a screening for the Batman. I would want to watch it in the theater.
Oh, well, that's how I thought it was.
Yeah.
No,
is that
it's a screener.
No.
It's a screener.
Then
and this
fuck that.
question
Yeah.
is a screener.
No, Last of Us. I thought that was in theaters. They're starting to do in-person screeners out here again, though. So
that's awesome. A lot of discussion about the Tom Holland situation.
Yeah. What do you say we take like 5 really good ones?
All right, let's go.
I want to give a shout out to the chat today. You guys were really conversating in the chat. Yeah. And I love when I see that. So and that's why me and Ren made this podcast. And it's like there's questions mixed in, but a lot of it honestly is just you guys talking and talking with us and talking with each other. So that's what we want to see. So thank you guys.
Okay,
it's awesome to see a very civil conversation, y'all.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me on today, and thank you everyone for keeping it civil and interesting. That's sick.
Yeah. Oh, Ren, do you want to say your movie real fast before you forget?
Yeah, my movie. Before we finalize with the final 2 questions, the movie for next week's movie club for you guys to start shouting at the beginning of the show in the comments. Ladies and gentlemen, I suggest Wind River, one of the best movies from 2017.
Did you get that from my Sundance video?
No, I didn't. I didn't watch it because I didn't do mine. I didn't watch yours yet because I didn't do mine. I didn't even know it came out at Sundance, but that's one of the most underrated films I've ever seen. It was in my top 10 in the year it came out. It's with Jeremy Renner, Elizabeth Olsen, a small cameo from John Bernthal, written by Taylor Sheridan, not Ty Sheridan, 2 completely different people. Really heavy movie, so be prepared. It's kind of depressing at points. But really, really worth your watch. Zach, do you have any thoughts?
If you haven't seen this film, you're missing out. It's one of the great films from the last decade. Amazing movie. Definitely go check it out.
Andy, have you seen it?
I have not. Now I apparently need to.
It's Renner, Olsen. It's great.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it was produced by Harvey Weinstein, and that's why it didn't have an Oscar campaign at the time when award season came around. But it's definitely one that should have.
Man, I'm sorry, man. I've got mixed feelings about that as well. But, I'm not trying to get political, but I really hate the idea of not disassociating a person's actions with their art. And I agree. I'm not saying that to put to at all condone or defend Weinstein. Of course, but I'm saying if people getting political gets in the way of art. It's like you need to get him to step down and not let his legacy tarnish the art that was produced.
Yeah.
And that's a big thing to put it there is with Wind River, the way I view it, they took his money when it made the movie.
Yeah,
true. You know what I mean? That's pretty much what it was. It's not like he wrote the script or anything of that nature, because technically he produced a Bong Joon-ho's film Snowpiercer.
Yeah.
So
man, incredible film.
Excellent movie.
Also based on the comic, if y'all want to read it.
Yes.
Yeah. Joe Fletcher, why do you think there was not a Black Widow spot? That is a really good question. I think it's because they want to keep it theatrical, and right now they don't know if they'll keep the date. So that's the real thing about the Super Bowl trailers. Whichever trailers did come out, it's the trailers we know are keeping their dates. I'm even surprised we got a trailer for Old.
But Fast and Furious did not.
It did.
A date. Did it have a date in the trailer though?
No, but the trailer came out.
That's what's interesting to me. They didn't have a date. Neither did Old. Old just say in theaters this summer.
It did. Okay, but Old does come out in July, so that does have a bigger time gap between now and when it supposedly comes out.
I didn't love that trailer.
I you know what? On full honesty, I recorded a reaction for that trailer. I didn't upload it because I had no reaction. As soon as it started, it was over.
I gotta tell you right now, you know me, I love M. Night Shyamalan. And that should not have been the first look at that movie. I watched that and I'm like, why did I just think of The Happening?
Oh.
And I felt it was because of the acting.
I actually did have that impression, but to me, there was just nothing to react to. Like the idea that I already had of the movie before watching it was what I had by the end of the trailer. So that was literally nothing.
So I wish they actually did a full trailer though. I wish they had a full trailer.
Same.
I'm also trying to find this freaking. So it's funny because I was like researching it because when I read like the plot description, I got scared and I didn't watch the trailer. But now I might be able to based on what y'all said. But
the trailer's not scary.
Oh, thank God. But what I didn't realize is that it's also based off a graphic novel.
Yeah, loosely apparently, very loosely.
But it's weird because this one's been on my like reading list forever. It's Sandcastle by Frederick Peters, who I think he also does one called Blue Pills, which is about like living as someone with HIV. It's a really in a romantic relationship with someone who has HIV. It's really powerful and beautiful. But in any case, he's a really good graphic novelist.
Hell yeah.
All right. Gico BP, I know Double Toasted brought this up, but do you think Falcon and Winter Soldier will focus on the world accepting a Black Captain America and watch people say get woke? Okay, so number one, yes, I think it will very much focus on that. I am very, 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 very excited for it to focus on that. And I think that will be awesome. As far as people say Marvel gone woke, yeah, there'll be people saying that, but who cares, honestly? As long as it makes an interesting story, that's all I care about. How about you, Zach?
I'm all for this. 100%. I don't care. Like this whole woke thing, SJW, shut the fuck up. Every fucking time I heard that shit with Ray being a fucking Mary Sue, fuck off. I literally think it's the dumbest. I really think it's the stupidest thing I've ever heard in my life. I can't express that enough. I really think it's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. Get woke. Guess what? It's a fucking show. Either watch it or don't. I mean that's really all it is.
How about you, Andy?
There's two things that I hate. I've like argued this with friends. Is like. The idea of like SJW, like you said, social justice warrior is like some of those principles and stuff have merit, like mansplaining and the glass ceiling or yada. But then they get taken to extreme. Gosh dang it, this is messing up. Then they get taken.
Oh, I'm sorry. Let me take that out.
You're good. You can leave it up. But
there we go.
Then they get taken to extremes that there's just no line anymore. So when you talk about like woke and cancel culture, then it's like anybody makes the slightest offense or grievance, even if they didn't mean to, or even if it like happened a decade ago or whatever, and it means nothing. Then all people want is a Black Captain America because they want a Black Captain America, not because they want to see this hero. They don't want to see like, Sam as Captain America. They just want to see a Black Captain America, which honestly feels like disingenuous to me. But that's the thing. I like Sam as a Falcon. He's heroic. He's freaking awesome. I want to see him as Captain America. But it doesn't. But it doesn't always need to be some quote unquote woke commentary. Some woke commentary. Like we've already got Robbie Reyes in the MCU, in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah.
The
That's
Hispanic Ghost Rider. We've already got Miles Morales confirmed in the MCU. We've already got like all these heroes of different races. That this isn't part of woke culture so much as, yes, they can make those like racial narratives and it's awesome, but at the same time, that's not a Marvel gone woke. That's not a Marvel gone woke thing. There's nothing to be woke about. You know what I mean? Is it's like nobody considers the fact that Arthur Curry, Aquaman, is a mixed race. All they see is a white hair with white dude, blonde hair, and they're like, oh, white guy. It's like, no, he's technically mixed race. Or the fact that Captain America is the son of Irish immigrants, and they're like, oh, that's a white guy. It's like, really? Because have you seen how Irish immigrants were treated back then?
Yeah.
So when you get into woke culture, there's just no line for me anymore. Woke or cancel culture, because. So I don't know. I'm rambling. That's my problem.
No, dude. You're welcome to speak your mind. You're more than welcome. Elliot from Movie Files is here. Thank you for being here, Elliot. Millie Z Movies. Let's go. How many left? We got 3 questions left. Let's choose. Oh, this is a good question. Which MCU movie should Nolan direct?
Let's go.
Ooh.
Yeah, we've only ever talked about this for Star Wars movies.
Low-key would have said Eternals if Chloe wasn't doing it.
Nice.
Because I want him to do something different.
I can't come off the top of my head with a new character for him to start a franchise, but I think Nolan would find himself very at home in a Doctor Strange movie. So if we do get a Doctor Strange 3, maybe that. You have anything in mind, Zach? Go ahead.
I have one. The rebooted X-Men.
I like that.
Or let him do Captain Britain with Henry Cavill.
That's what I was thinking about. Or you could do Captain Britain as well. How about you, Andy?
Freaking funny. Dang, I don't know. Those are some good ones, but Ren, you got a good point where a core motif, right, of Nolan films is time. Is time or like just non-linear narratives. So this is gonna be a weird one, but I'm gonna go with X Factor if I'm remembering the term correctly.
Yeah.
X Factor is another offshoot X-Men branch, but because they have a character named Multiple Man, he's like the leader, and he can multiply himself, right? So using a non-linear narrative structured around like having the same person in multiple different places with what could be a shared consciousness would be very interesting, because you straight up wouldn't know who's doing what when, or when the tasks are simultaneously done, and how he's interacting with certain people. It's very nuanced and complicated, and I think no one could handle it.
Yeah. All right.
The Marvels as well. Just throwing that out.
Marvels.
Fantastic. I could also see movie.
That's true. I didn't think about Fantastic Four. That's a fit. That's a really good fit. What else? 2 more questions. This is a fun question. Favorite cuisine?
Let's go.
Ooh.
You guys go first.
I don't think I have one. Specific. I guess the more appropriate one would be like Mexican cuisine, because I like spicy food. Whenever I go to a Mexican restaurant, I splurge for real. And usually when I go to a Mexican restaurant, it's on cheat day, and I'm on a 4,000 calorie intake every day, so I make it worth my time. So I guess around the nachos, around the wings, 2 burritos, a few tacos on the side. They're like, Ren, you're getting fat. I know. But how about you, Andy?
Man, I'm part Korean, so I grew up around a lot of Asian food, and that is just my predilection, right? Is just Asian food, especially like ramen and sushi. Grew up around a lot of Japanese food, oddly enough, and galbi, braised Korean short ribs, and then kimchi, miso soup. Man, I love Asian food so much.
All right. How about you, Zach?
I'm kind of a mix between both of what you guys just said, just depending on the mood.
Oh man, then you would love this place called. Wait, where are you at, Zach?
I'm in Arizona. I've been to Texas though. Sean took us to this one Mexican restaurant. I'm trying to remember. He took us it was like an outdoor one, like real fast, like when we were at South by Southwest.
Oh no, I was gonna say there's this place in Austin called Cilantro, and it's literally like Mexican Korean fusion.
Oh my god!
Oh, nice. What do you got? What's your go-to meal for like cheat day, Andy? This is my question. This is not the last question, but I want to ask this.
Every day's cheat day, brother. Let's see. McRibs.
Okay.
I freaking love the McRib. Crunchwrap Supreme. We got a place, Round Rock Donuts. So donuts, McRib, Crunchwrap Supreme, and then maybe some beers.
Nice. How about you, Zach?
Pancake waffles with lots of
Yes. Mine is a family-sized pizza from Domino's because I don't have Pizza Hut near me, unfortunately. Otherwise, it'd be Pizza Hut and an opening garlic bread for starters. If I had a cheat day, because I only have a cheat meal now, but if I had a cheat day, pancakes, a stack of pancakes like The Rock for breakfast, and a big-ass burger with a triple patty for lunch. Then the Harley Quinn sandwich.
I'm fucking starving at this point.
I'm finishing now. The Harley Quinn sandwich as a snack in the afternoon. The family size pizza, and then for dessert, half a cheesecake. And that's it.
Thanks, Ren. Jesus Christ. Move on.
Someone is calculating the intake, and they're like, "That's way more than 4,000." It's cheat day. You splurge.
Good night.
You made me hungry now.
Yeah, we're all gonna have cheat day after this. You guys are lucky because you're still in the morning. It's afternoon for me. I don't have time to eat all of that now. Okay, this is not the last question, but I want to address this. Gigolo P says, so episode 4 of Chernobyl is basically the Scott Stotts of the show. I wish it was, to be honest. It's a very different type of uncomfortable. I don't wanna okay.
That's the question of the day. I want to just end with flat out, I don't want any other question asked because that's the best one. That is the best fucking one ever.
I just have to say it's episode 4 of Chernobyl for me is uncomfortable because, and I'll just say one word, you take it as you will, dogs. That's it.
I don't know if I could watch this show though.
Yeah. It's just that one episode. If you skip that one episode, I think you'll still fine because I understand if people can't
it sounds more like, now that I think about it, it sounds more like episode 1 of Black Mirror, like from the way you describe it.
Oh yeah, the one with it's much worse, much worse to endure the episode.
How long are these episodes?
I think they're 1 hour. I think they were 1 hour episodes. Let's go for a really good last question.
That was the really good one.
But I wasted time with a question of my own. So everyone talking about the pancakes now. We left everyone hungry, guys.
Here, I'll try
Leo literally tweeted us that we got him starving on Twitter. Oh, that's awesome.
Oh, that's awesome, man. I love this. This is why making the show so good.
I'm looking too. It's a lot of conversation.
It is, and that's awesome. It's actually a good thing we're not finding. Okay, let's finish on this one. MCU versus DCU superhero war. Who wins and why? Now, if you had asked Marvel versus DC in terms of comics, I think it would be more even balance. If we're asking MCU versus DCU, the DCU is dead on arrival. They got like 5 superheroes at this point. Marvel is an entire universe. I think it's honestly easy for Marvel at this point. So yeah. How about you, Andy? What do you think?
Dude, that's literally it. Like I honestly would. I'll follow up in a second. But yeah, nothing to say. You're right.
How about you, Zach?
Dude, don't.
I don't. Star Wars.
Okay, we got a discussion in the comments. Superman because he's OP. So DC, actually, Marvel as a Hulk. You remember when Hulk clapped his hands and broke the world in half? That's right.
So-
Superman never did that.
Actually, Superman. Oh boy, now I have to do this.
Go.
There's two sides. Okay, two sides of the argument with Superman, right? Especially when people like ask like who's more powerful. Is one, Superman is OP. Like just assume that Superman could beat the Hulk. Superman in the comics has gone around the world so fast that he could turn back time. That is that's non-canon. But Superman is OP and can beat dang near anyone, especially because Kryptonians get their power from the yellow sun radiation. So the closer he is to the yellow sun, the more powerful he gets. But the hotter the sun, then the more powerful he gets. So if he's near a blue sun or a white hot sun, then his power will go off the charts. However, Superman's also easy to beat if you use magic. He's got no natural resistances to magic. Kryptonite will mess him up. Batman literally synthesized a specific type of kryptonite to do as much damage to him as possible, which is brutal. And then red sunlight. Red sunlight is another way to beat Superman, which is why the Kryptonians didn't have powers on Krypton, because it was by a dying sun. So, so Superman is OP if he's near a yellow sun. Otherwise, he's pretty easy to beat. So if you were going to say Scarlet Witch versus Superman, then he gets clapped.
Yeah, true. They also have Scarlet Witch. That's true. All right, everyone. That's it for today's show. Thank you so much for just enjoying talking with each other in the chat, talking to us. This was amazing. Thank you so much, everyone. Andy, thank you for joining us. Let us know what do you have coming up and where people can find you online.
All right. Well, I will be on King's Comics. You can find that on YouTube. King's Comics right there. It will be in the bio. And yeah, I guess that's it. Or at Andrew King 3RD on most social media platforms, including TikTok, apparently. So,
all right, Zach, what do you have coming up, and where can people find you?
Man, within the next 48 hours, I got WandaVision, Willy's Wonderland, Barb and Star. To all the boys I've loved reviews, go check them out, please.
When does that come out? All the boys
tomorrow.
Oh, tomorrow. Okay.
Yeah, Valentine's Day. That's right.
Yeah. So
I never saw a trailer for it, so that's why I was asking.
So all that, guys. So enjoy it.
All right. I will have my review for WandaVision also up tomorrow, as well as reviews for Willy's Wonderland. That's all I can say about it right now. And reviews for Judas and the Black Messiah already up. The review for Barb and Star Go to Vista Del Mar will be up at 2 a.m. my time, but it'll be like, I think,
7 my time.
7 MST. So you guys do the math on that one. It's scheduled. It'll be up. I can't share it at the time because it'll be 2 a.m. over here, so I'll be sleeping. But yeah, those videos are coming. Also, a full weekend ahead of us. I'll maybe do a live Q&A. Just because I have fun and now I have stable internet to do that with. Thank you guys so much. Everyone in the chat, from G. Colby P, Eric Thorpe, João Magalhães, the Lucas Show SARS, Millie Z Movies, Anushka Advani, Jack Alexander. Thank you everyone so much. Geekly Goods, Heezy Hey. Thank you all for being here, for being so active, for supporting the show, the channel, and just for being awesome, everyone. Thank you so much. Andy, thank you again for joining us. Zach, thank you again for being here and co-hosting another episode with me. In 2 weeks, everyone, we're making it to episode 50 of Geeks of the Roundtable. We got to start prepping something for that episode. So I'll see you in the next one. Until the next one, love each other and love the movies.